So judging from the analytics YouTube provides to me about my audience, the majority of you are beyond school age. Some of you might not remember your school days so fondly, in which case this video might take you back in ways you didn't really want. Sorry. But I think it'll be light enough that you can still enjoy it without having flashbacks to things like hangovers or cramming for finals. Let's talk about the hauntings at the University of California, Berkeley. So first, a brief history. The University of California system was started all the way back in 1869. Today, the Berkeley campus is just one of 10 and boasts over 350 degree programs. One of the school's most notable alumni was Rube Goldberg, the Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist and inventor known for his cartoons of crazy contraptions. Goldberg received a degree in engineering from UC Berkeley back in 1904. Berkeley has also come to be known for its political protests over the years, many of which have turned violent. So let's talk about some of the spots on campus that have reports of paranormal activity. The first is Sather Tower. Also known as the Campanile, this 370-foot bell tower opened in 1914 and contains 61 bells that chime regularly. Sather Tower is reportedly haunted by the ghost of John Patterson, a student who took his own life by jumping off the tower in 1961. Even after his death, he's been spotted in and around the tower. There's also a story that someone took a picture of the tower and a ghostly hand showed up in the picture. I can never actually find this picture, but some speculate that it is John Patterson's hand. However, I couldn't find any confirmation that this story was true. I'm not sure if it was made up or if it actually happened and the records have just been lost to time, or at least just not online. The next haunted location is Barrington Hall. This building started out as a student housing co-op back in 1933. Lots of students who organized the political protests the school has become known for lived in this building. It has a reputation for being the home of rebels, students who wanted to push back against the status quo, as well as students who liked doing drugs and getting into fights. Barrington closed in 1990, but according to Weird California and a few other sources, is still in operation as private student housing. It's said to be haunted by the ghost of a student who fell off the roof in the midst of some of the riots, as well as another one who committed suicide in a stairwell. The latter ghost has been spotted in that stairwell as well as in other parts of the building. So now let's talk about Hearst Gym. This building went up in 1927 and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1982, but there is a dark side to its history. As early as the 1950s, archaeologists have unearthed Native American remains and artifacts in the area. Many of these early finds were turned over to the Phoebe A. Hearst Museum of Anthropology, also on UC Berkeley's campus. But thousands of sets of Native American remains, up to 12,000 by some estimates, are buried under the pool of Hearst Gym. As of 2018, only about 1,000 of these sets of remains have been returned to Native tribes. Needless to say, many Native Americans aren't too happy about this, believing the remains belong to them and that they should be returned as soon as possible. If you do believe in ghosts, it's easy to see why some of the people buried under the pool might be upset about their situation. Paranormal activity has been blamed on things like flickering lights, strange tapping noises, and general feelings of unease in the gym. I also found a vlog from a girl who goes to UC Berkeley, or at least did in 2018 when the vlog went up. In the vlog, she shows a little bit of footage inside the gym and talks a bit about the paranormal rumors. I will leave a link to that video below along with timestamps. The last major haunted location I want to talk about is the Faculty Club. This club was opened in 1902 to promote mutual acquaintance and fellowship among officers of instruction and government of the university, according to their website. Just like Hearst Gym, it was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1902. The main ghost said to haunt the faculty club is that of Henry Morse Stevens, a literature professor who lived at the club until his death in 1919. At the time of his death, Stevens was working on a couple of projects that, of course, went unfinished. Did he keep coming back to his old home after death in the hopes of completing his work? Stephen's ghost has reportedly been spotted numerous times. Students claim they've seen him sitting in a chair in his old room reciting poetry. A visiting professor staying in Stevens' old room said he saw his ghost fly across the room and then promptly disappear. A psychic visited in 2009 and went to the room to try and communicate with Stevens' ghost. Instead, they claimed to reach a football player who died of pneumonia in the 1920s. This ghost reportedly left the conversation with the psychic by saying, "Go Bears." So even if he died a tragic death, at least he still has school spirit. There are a few more places on campus with some more vague paranormal legends attached to them. Residence Hall Cloyne Court is supposedly haunted by a couple and their dog after the husband committed a murder-suicide. A few sources have mentioned Evans Hall and numerous suicides there, but there aren't really any specific stories. Memorial Stadium is said to be haunted by the ghost of a former football coach, and there are stories of a ghostly woman wandering campus at night, calling for her boyfriend, Pedro. To be fair though, Pedro isn't that uncommon of a name, so maybe this girl is looking for a living Pedro. There is one last thing I want to mention before I go. In my research, I came across an article titled, "Frat Row is Haunted by the Tiny Ghosts of Thousands of Goldfishes Swallowed by KA Pledges, and we hired a team of paranormal investigators to prove it." As the title suggests, the article goes on to detail the hauntings of Fraternity Row by goldfish who died after being swallowed by hopeful frat boys. This article was published on a website called The Free Peach, and a poke around the website reveals it's pretty obviously satire. But as someone who has a bizarre fear of fish, the idea of them coming back to haunt me is frankly more terrifying than any human ghost. I mean, seriously, just look at those eyes and tell me that's not nightmare-inducing. So that's all I have for you today on the hauntings of UC Berkeley. This is a location I was originally going to feature in my video on Haunted California that came out a couple of weeks ago, but I decided to scrap that and give it a full video of its own. If you're a student or former student there, or even if you've just been to the campus and have some ghostly story to tell, I would love to hear it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and share it. And for more dark content, I hope you'll consider subscribing and hitting that bell. Thanks for watching and have a creepy day. Bye guys.